Hello guys, welcome back onto the Dutch couch. Got to say, this Liverpool team, the manager in particular, I said this at the start of the season before a ball was even kicked. This guy is the real deal and Liverpool will win this Premier League. I was asked, obviously people know that I like Dutch football, obviously from this couch you can tell that. I was asked in the summer by Liverpool fans who said to me, what's this guy all about? What do you reckon for us this season? And I said, you will win this Premier League. I knew it, just knew it. This would come in and it would be seamless. Just had a feeling with this guy. He's elite. Mentality monster, mate. I even had Man United fans, obviously Ten Hag was there at the time, saying obviously we've got a Dutch coach and you don't rate him. I weren't a massive Ten Hag fan. What's the difference with this guy? And I said, give it a few games and you'll see the difference. It will be seamless when he goes in there. People were saying it's not going to be easy going in after Jurgen Klopp. I saw it differently. From day one, I saw it differently before this season even started. He's gone in there. Put it this way, if you saw the way he set up his final team and the way they played, this squad of players, perfect for this guy. He's got a squad full of depth there already, of top-notch players, right? And let's get it right. Last season, they had a good title challenge. They wavered off towards the end. So they've got the squad there. I think they've got the team there. Look at the revelation. Another Dutch boy, Gravenberch. Been a revelation this season under this manager. He knows exactly how to use him. He fancies him as a player. Fits into his system perfectly. This guy's been one of the top performers in the Premier League. He's class, mate. He's class. But this manager, like they said about Jurgen Klopp, coming in to replace this guy, I did see it differently. As good as Klopp was, I did think towards the end, personally, from the outside, I did think, put it this way, these players here now, they look excited to play for this manager. I didn't see that towards the end of Klopp's reign. I thought it was getting a bit like, it was getting towards the end, and I think Klopp went at the right time, really, as good as he was, legendary at Liverpool and whatever. I think this guy's perfect for this squad of players. The youngsters, he improves players, put it that way. He plays a system. This team's got everything. The squad of players Liverpool have, they're capable of playing any way. And they're good enough to win anything, playing any system, in my opinion. I mean, not being funny, you've only got to look at Virgil van Dijk. He looks reborn, mate, to me, from the outside. Let me know in the comments, Liverpool fans, because obviously you see him week in, week out. From the outside, and as a fan of the Dutch team, the Dutch national team, I think this guy looks reborn. At times last season, I thought he was starting to waver. He looks commanding again. He looks like a Rolls Royce again, which he's class, mate. That guy's fucking dominant. He's class. But the difference with this Liverpool team to the likes of Arsenal and Man City at the moment, this team has got goals coming from all over the pitch. They've got so many options, so many players chipping in with goals, and so many creative players. And this guy is using them to their full power. This manager knows how to use these players in a system to get the ultimate out of them. The ultimate, the maximum. You've only got to look at the Champions League group you're in. The Champions League format, obviously, this season is one big league. I think they've won every game. They've blown everyone away that they've played, including Real Madrid, the European champions, right? And they looked like men against boys against them. I thought at times Liverpool looked at absolute 2 levels above them. Obviously, the Anfield effect is massive in European games. I think, looking at this team, I mean, I've just watched the Liverpool beat Spurs 6-3, whatever. The difference I saw between those two managers there, you've got a manager on Spurs side who he's got a plan A. He goes gung-ho. Whoever he plays against, he goes gung-ho. This high line he plays, so naive. And I see Arne Slot. This geezer adapts things. Whoever he's playing, he adapts this team to get the best out of what players he's got. They look so dominant today. They look so good on the ball, so comfortable in possession. Yeah, at the end of the game, they let in a couple. Lacks of concentration, right? You're not going to be able to, if that keeps happening, he'll kick arse. He won't be happy with that today. Even though they've won 6-3 or whatever, he won't be happy with conceding them 2 late goals. He'll be pissed off with that, which I love. This guy's mentality is elite. I'm telling you. The transformation in certain players. I mean, I'm looking at you're looking at squad depth as well, right? I said about squad depth. I think these two players in particular are absolute fucking top notch. Salah is self-explanatory. You don't need to talk about this guy. He's best player in the Premier League by a fucking country mile for me. Luis Diaz, when that kid is on fire, mate, there's no stopping him. He's top draw, another top draw player. When you've got players like, I look at Diogo Jota. I love, obviously another Dutchman. I do love Gakpo. He's brilliant for the Dutch. He's not always performed for Liverpool, but I think you're going to see the best of him out of this manager. He knows how to get the best out of him. He's going to be another absolute fucking star for you. So them three up front, mate. You got players like Diogo Jota. I'm not being funny. I look at any other team in the Premier League and I'm looking at him thinking, he walks into any team. He walks into Arsenal's team fucking all day long. He walks into Man City's team, I think, these days. Diogo Jota walks into any team in this Premier League. And he hardly gets a start at Liverpool from what I see. So that only shows just how strong this attacking sense, they are so strong. And then that's without even Darwin Núñez. That's without even mentioning Darwin Núñez, he's another confidence player, right? He's a bit wasteful at times, but I fucking love him at Arsenal. I think he'd be great at Arsenal, somewhere like that. Old-fashioned centre forward. Yeah, he's hectic and fucking erratic. He fucking gives 100%. He's another top-notch player for me, Darwin Núñez. He's a confidence player, but when he's on it. So you've got 5 absolutely fucking brilliant options attacking-wise. But the midfield options for me, even the youngsters you've got as well, you've got players coming off the bench today, like Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones and what have you. Excellent players, mate. Excellent players. They walk in most teams. But that midfield of yours, honestly, the way they're playing under this manager, he's getting the best out of every single player, individually and collectively, which you can't ask for any more. This guy, he just knows his football. And what I like about him as well, his man management skills as well. He's brilliant with the media. He doesn't come across arrogant or anything. He says things how they are, but he's likeable. And you can tell when someone's got great man management skills by the way them players are playing. They look free. They don't look restricted on a pitch. When I'm looking at the likes of Man City at the moment, Jack Grealish and players like that in particular, they're playing in a system. They look restricted. These Liverpool players look like they've got so much freedom on a football pitch. And I'll tell you what, it's a pleasure to see, because there's not many teams in the Premier League like that. Not the top teams anyway. Arsenal and Man City, some of them players look fucking well restricted, mate. And I'm looking at the likes of Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Brighton, Brentford. They're the sort of, them 4 teams I put in the same sort of category, not to the level of Liverpool, but the players seem to play in a system, but they're free to play. They've got loads of freedom to play. I think it's vital when you're going for titles. These players, they need to want to play every week. They need to feel free on a football pitch. If you're restricting players, like I said with Jack Grealish, mate, you don't get nothing out of them. You can overplay into a system, I think. I don't think Arne Slot's going to have that problem here. I think the brand of football he plays, everyone's going to be happy playing in it. And that can only bode well for Liverpool. And I really do think that this team, I think they're going to blow it up. In the end, I think they'll win it by a country mile. I really do. I mean, I've not even mentioned someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's one of the most talented he's a generational player. He's always been slaughtered for his defensive qualities, right? But when this guy plays on the right there, and what he gives your team, I think you can forgive him a few little mistakes. Because when you've got players like Van Dijk mopping up anyway, you can sort of get away with it 99% of the time. What this guy offers you, passing-wise, vision-wise, for a right-back, the vision in this guy, unbelievable. His technical ability is absolutely fucking top-notch. And how he wasn't used more in the England team is beyond me. Absolute beg belief, mate. 10 times the player Carl Walker's ever been, for me. Unbelievable. The thing about this manager, which I like the most, right, he's come into Liverpool in the summer and he's not gone in there and thought, right, that's Jurgen Klopp's team. I'm going to spend a shitload of money get rid of some of this deadwood, because I don't think you've got much deadwood there anyway. He's not going to ship a load of players out, and he's not just going to buy players for the sake of it to fit into a system. He's looked at the squad there, and he's thought, I've got some absolutely fucking top-notch players here already who can fit perfectly into the way that I want to play. This is why in the summer, when people were saying, that's a dodgy job for him to go into, not at all. That was fucking spot on. After their little collapse in the championship race last season, he's gone in there. No one's expected him to go and put a title challenge in this year. No one's expected it. So he's gone in there and he's got a bit of leeway, really. He's got a bit of leeway from the fans and the media, I think, originally, because they're thinking, all right, transitional process here. It's going to be a time of transition for Liverpool. That's bullshit, mate. He's got a squad good enough and he knows that. That's why he's only gone and bought Chiesa, who's not really figured anyway. I don't think he's settled very well, what have you. When you've got players like Nunes, Jota, Harvey Elliott coming off the bench, they're game changers, mate. I can't believe Harvey Elliott's not figured more for England. I think he's absolute fucking brilliant footballer. I love him. But I think this Liverpool team this year, they have been a revelation. And I think a lot of that's down to this manager. I think they needed that change. As good as Klopp was, and as much as he was a legend there and the fans loved him, I did think it got to a stage where they needed that little change to spruce it up a little bit. I mean, obviously the goalkeeper, they've got two fucking fantastic goalkeepers there. They've got a fantastic backline. The only position I'd really think they might need to strengthen would, you might correct me on this, Liverpool fans, you see more of it than me. I think maybe a left back. I think you might need literally a left back. I'm not sure if Robertson is what he was. I know he gets a few injuries and what have you. And I'm not sure Tsimikas is the answer going forward long term sort of thing. But I'd like to hear your opinions on that. Do you think you're strong enough centre back wise? There's another one. You've got obviously Konate. I think Gomez played there today. But I think when you've got Van Dijk there, you can literally put anyone next to him and I'd feel safe. I'd feel safe. And another player who's he's another one who chips in and he's an absolutely technically brilliant player. Is Dominic Szoboszlai, the Hungarian. I think he's unreal. Obviously last season he had his first season and he went in and out a little bit. I think this season, I think he seems settled a bit more. McAllister's in there, brilliant player, World Cup winner. So that squad for me, that Liverpool squad for me is by far the strongest squad in this Premier League. I look at Arsenal defensively, they've got great options there. But Arteta's bought players, he's bought a few players who are quite injury prone. So those players, Calafiori, Timber, etc., they're in and out of the team. So you can't rely on them long term. They're always going to miss games here and there. I think Arne Slot, the way Arne Slot's done this is very clever. He knows people are going to say, look, he only won the league with Feyenoord because Ajax are not what they was. PSV weren't what they was. That team he had at Feyenoord, if you watched it, not a lot of people are going to obviously know much about this team. But they played with freedom, but they played in a system. They were quick, dynamic. I'm seeing this already here, and he's only been there a few months. And these are obviously far superior players to what he had at Feyenoord. He's playing against much better opposition here. In his favour, I've got to say, in Arne Slot's favour, it's gone his way in the respect that Man City have been shocking. It's gone his way that Arsenal have dropped points that they shouldn't. So I think he's had a bit of luck that way. But you make your own luck in this game, and in this league, it's cutthroat. You make your own luck in this league. You've got to go there and get them points. I mean, he had a setback. I think Forest came to Anfield and won 1-0. I think they've done a good job on Liverpool actually. And that was early on. So really, the fans could have gone, oh, here we go. This is fucking going to be a nightmare. They could have collapsed, but I think they went on a really good winning run after that. I think that was just sometimes you have to say well done to the opposition, right? And I think Forest done a good job on you. And from what I've heard, they've done well on the day and deserved the 3 points. So you have to say fair play to that. And they've done well this season anyway, so they're no mugs. But my prediction for this Liverpool team, I'll be honest, it wouldn't surprise me. People might say, mate, behave yourself. It wouldn't surprise me if this lot won all 4 trophies they was in. It wouldn't surprise me if they won this Premier League, which I think they're massive favourites for. The only team personally, the only team that can stop them, I know Chelsea have done well, the only team I can see stopping them would be Arsenal. But I think what Liverpool have over Arsenal is all those attacking options. Arsenal don't have half of what Liverpool got. So I think Liverpool, in that respect, and I think Liverpool are just strong all through the team, whereas Arsenal have got little weaknesses. They depend on set pieces a lot as well. Liverpool, they're so fluent in their play. Yeah, this is, as I say, Arsenal could be the only team to stop them in the Premier League, in my opinion. They're already in the League Cup semi-final, and they've got Spurs over 2 legs. Second leg's at Anfield, so I fully expect you to go through there. And you've got Arsenal or Newcastle in the final. At Wembley, I'd probably see you beating either side. You've got the FA Cup. I think you've got a favourable third-round draw. Always good in the FA Cup. Champions League. This is when Liverpool, for me, the Champions League is where Liverpool come into their own. Obviously, you've got the Real Madrids and what have you. You know they're going to come strong. Even if they struggle to get through this stage, they'll come strong and they'll be thereabouts, mate. They'll be semi-finals or final, whatever. On the day, man for man, I think Liverpool can beat anybody in Europe. And they've just got history behind them. When they play in Europe, I mean, put it this way. If they was to play a 2-legged game against Arsenal in the Champions League, I'd bet on Liverpool every day of the week. I think those nights at Anfield in particular, they just seem to give you something extra. The 12th man, it seems to give you an extra goal or two. That crowd there on a European night. This club is massive, as everyone knows, but it's special. And on particular nights, that crowd can get you through so much. And I'd fancy them. I do fancy them to win the Champions League again, as well, sorry. If I was a gambling man, which I'm not, I've not had a gamble for 2 years, I would probably have a few quid on them to win all 4 trophies. Win the quadruple. Wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past this manager. I think he's capable. And you can see that I love the Dutch, right? So you might be thinking, oh, it's because he's Dutch. It's not. I never thought Ten Hag was the man for Man United as soon as he walked in there, even though he'd done well at Ajax. Just didn't think he fitted. What this guy's got over Ten Hag for me. I don't think he doesn't use the blame game to me. I've not seen him come in a press conference and blame everyone else, or he owns it. I think he owns it. I think he comes across so well. He comes across as though he doesn't get stressed. If you're looking at Pep Guardiola at the moment, fuck me, he looks like he wants to beat the shit out of himself every time you see him. He looks so lost. And as someone, I always say this, right? As good as Pep Guardiola is, I always say this: the best coaches in the world, the best managers, for me personally, are the ones who manage to achieve things on a shoestring, right? Pep's not done that. Brilliant tactically. He's took this total football, personally, he's took it to a level where I'm starting to not enjoy it now anyway. It's gone too slow and too possession-based now. Total football for me is quick football. It's possession-based but quick, cutthroat, attack. I don't think this football's gone the other way now. And a lot of people have copied him. Teams that are not capable of playing it. But Liverpool, they play football at pace. And they've always done that. Under Klopp, there's no team in this Premier League who press like Liverpool. Especially when you had Firmino, Mane, Salah playing together. That Liverpool team, the press they had was incredible. And it's everything I love in a football team. They go for it. They don't sit back and wait for someone else to impose themselves. Liverpool play their game. They impose themselves on whoever they play. If they play Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, Liverpool don't give a fuck who they are. They go out and play their own game. If they lose, fair enough. But Liverpool go down knowing that they've played their football. They don't play a game depending on the opposition. Yeah, they'll adapt during the game tactically, Klopp did as well. Arne Slot in particular, I think he done that at Arsenal the other week actually as well. I mean, Arsenal, for long periods, dominated Liverpool. And I think if Arsenal didn't have those injuries, they would have gone on to win that game. But he managed to scrape a point out of that. They pushed on in the second half when Arsenal had them injuries, and they managed to get a point out of it. But I'm not going to drone on. The only thing I would say is, at the end of the season, People might come back to this video and go, this geezer's clueless. But I can only go on what I'm seeing, what I've seen, and what I think's going to happen, and what I think about this manager. The Liverpool fan that asked me at the start of the season, I had 2 or 3 asked me actually, and said like, I'm really fucking worrying about us this season. I can't see us even manage. We're going to struggle to get top 4. I sort of said, behave yourselves, mate. I said, you'll see after 10 games, you'll see the style of this fella. I think you saw it before that. I think you see it in pre-season when they played Arsenal in America. I think you quickly saw the style of this guy and what he brought in and how much those players enjoyed it. And I think I saw an interview with, I think it was Harvey Elliott, I think it was. I might be wrong. I'm sure it was him in America when they spoke about the manager. He was glowing. He was beaming about this manager, buzzing about him. And I just thought, yeah, if those young players are buzzing over this manager after they've worked with Jurgen Klopp, then they know that this guy's special. And this guy's going to take them on to another level. And I personally think he will win more trophies than Jurgen Klopp did for Liverpool. I think he's there for the long haul. I think he's going to become a Liverpool legendary manager. I never fucking had some, haven't they? Fucking never had some fucking absolute legendary managers there. Paisley, Shankly, the likes of them. Dalglish, they've had some absolute... I can't even list them all, right? There's so many legendary managers at Liverpool. I think this guy, I do think he's going to be up there. And I do like to see, because not many Dutch managers have come here and dominated, or some of them have had absolute stinkers here, these Dutch managers. I don't think this guy's one of them. I think he's at the perfect club for him. I think he's perfect for that club. I think he's perfect for them players, and I think the players are perfect for him and the way he wants to play. What can go wrong? I'm not even a Liverpool fan, but I have to say, like I said, there's 3 or 4 teams in the Premier League that I really enjoy watching. I really like watching these. I love watching these. I think they're fucking great side. I would like to see how he reacts if you had 3 or 4 really shit results in a row. Because I'm not being funny. I've spoke about Guardiola already. As good as that guy is, this is the first time I've seen him hit a real brick wall and crisis. He looks lost. Now we're going to see how good Pep Guardiola is. And I don't see... It seems like he's lost one or 2 players, injuries and what have you. And his whole team's collapsed. Now, for me, if you're the best manager ever to walk this planet, if you lose 2 players, you find a solution. At the moment, he's not finding it. So anyone is susceptible to a crisis, and anyone can collapse, right? So I will be very interested if Liverpool get a lot of injuries here, a few dodgy results. Christmas is going to be vital. I think they've got Leicester at home next, which I'll be surprised if it's less than 5-6-0, to be honest with you. They'll batter them. But if they have a couple of shit results, then we're going to see the real spirit of this team. But personally, my last note will be, this guy is an absolute mentality monster. And I think he will win the big trophies with Liverpool. Let me know in the comments what you think. Liverpool fans, I'd love to hear from Liverpool fans, whether they're thinking, you're overdoing it, mate, yeah? Or it is early days yet, I get that. But I'm only going on my feeling of this guy and the feeling of the whole marriage of the team and the manager, the club. I think it's a fucking marriage made in heaven. I really do. And I wish him well. I wish all the Dutch players and managers well. But yeah, have a wicked Christmas. On to the next one. Take care.